Happy New Year! It's 2017 and we have a week of webisodes for you.
Yay!
We're going to begin with something that Teresa has done every year for the last, I think, 6 years. She has worked to create a DVD of wonderful folded cards. And this year, it's entitled, you could have done that. It's entitled Folded Cards Forever. And she's not only done that one, but the woman has worked extra hard, and she's done ways with ribbons because you asked. Right?
And she responded. So this is great. You're getting 2 new Teresa's computer DVDs and a week of webisodes.
And a week of webisodes and over 100 projects and almost 10 hours of video and us for right now. So come play with us. And here they are, both Folded Cards Forever.
Yay.
You have to kind of say it that way. And then Ways with Ribbons.
So, and they're both Teresa's, and they're both wonderful. Lots and lots, 100 cards and boxes on the Folded Cards Forever. 6 3/4 hours of videos. I think you know that.
Let's get in close. Yes, I kind of do because I did them all. And very fun things. There's also a product video on the website, so you can see a little close-up of some of the cards.
Great.
And this is some other examples. So computer DVD.
For Mac and PC.
Right, absolutely. And there are patterns in there. And what happens is you'll click on it when you open it. You don't have to do anything except insert it into the disk drive. And if your computer doesn't have a disk drive, you can get an external disk drive that's really easy to do.
Oh, sure. It makes it real easy to use. And then when you put it in there, it just comes up like this.
Yeah,
right?
It'll come up and it will give an intro video and then all the chapters.
Shows all the chapters.
If you click on chapter 1, you will see something that looks like this.
Very easy to use. I've done this. It's just nothing. You just click. Oh, I want to see this. I want to see that.
You don't have to install anything or do any techno gibberish.
Okay.
So then you just look at the chapter you want. You can click on the video, which is this, or you can go to each card, get the patterns if that's needed, and get the instructions. So that's what you do.
And these look like fun chapters. Kirigami, diamond fold, iris folding, center step fold, version 1 and 2. So
and what I love is that Teresa does some simple things with kind of a twist, and that's what our first example is. So let's look at this. This is a card. You can see very pretty on the front using die cuts, but when we open it, it has this kind of bridge that goes along the edge.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, and it's folded in a way that it's going to stand up, and this part is going toward us, that part is going back. And how it's connected. So simple, so easy.
It is.
But such a delight.
And it starts with this, and you'll get all of the instructions on the DVD. You'll know how big to cut this piece of cardstock and where to place these, where to line up and make these score lines. So we've got a score line right about in the center, and then half again over and the center of this half of the card. So it's been scored, and the way I score that is I usually use, you can use a scoring tool or you can use the back of your retractable penknife. So I'm actually, so here's
not the sharp edge.
Right, so here it is. If I was going to cut it, I would lay it down this way, but I'm going to turn it over and use that back edge. I've got a metal edged ruler here, and it was already marked. I've already done it, but just showing you, I would line that up, and then I would go over it just like that with the back edge of that.
Just
and
one
that
time.
It makes a little kind of it cuts the top edge of that cardstock just enough. It breaks the fibers just enough to where you're going to be able to fold it. And then we're going to start with a valley fold in the center, and I've got my bone folder. I'm going to line up the corners and the edges of all of that, just so. Use my bone folder to get a nice fold here and here. And then the next score, and I already went ahead and scored it, is in the center here. This is going to go back like this. So it starts with this card, which we call a Z fold. And then she's got another piece, and she's also scored. I'm going to go ahead and, or told us where to score. It gets scored and folded like so. And then I'm going to turn this over. This gets glued on the front panel of the card. this gets glued on basically the inside panel, so then when you open it, it goes like that. It makes kind of a little box in the center.
And after you've decorated it, it looks like this. Now what Teresa will do is show us 2 examples. So almost every single card, as you can see right here, there are 2 examples. So she very often will give us a feminine and maybe a masculine, or a seasonal and a non-seasonal. So it's just kind of nice to see that in 2 versions.
I love using all those die cuts. They've been stamped on and added rhinestones to the center of those. Just beautiful.
So that's what I would call a kind of a more simple card, but with a really creative twist. Want to see another one?
Yeah, please.
Okay, Teresa took a shutter card and did it differently. Well, that doesn't surprise me.
So now it's a wraparound shutter card because it's wrapping around the front, which you'll see in just a moment.
So it goes like this.
Ta-da! Isn't that unique? It's just sort of reversing that shutter and wrapping it around that front panel.
So here is our shutter cards that are die cut that we have, and normally a shutter card opens like this. So what she did is she flipped it so that that goes over the front.
It's actually, it ends up going like this, but there we go.
Yeah.
So it ends up like that.
So it's just a simple adjustment, but how very fun it looks. And in this case, she has used the Bohemian Dreams papers as well.
Botanical frames.
Botanical frames. I always get those 2 mixed up.
That's all right.
And Botanical Frames dazzles, as you can see. And
to beautiful effect. So they are backed, and some of them have some of the glitter sheets backing some of. So you take some of those dazzles, place it on the glitter sheet, like so.
The glitter acetate sheets.
And it's transparent. You can see through it, but you've got that beautiful glitter, and just cut around the edges, and
how pretty.
You have a beautifully backed dazzle.
And yes, she did add silver jewel dazzles. So
and butterfly.
And butterflies, because the butterflies are in that set of dazzles.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
Enjoy the moment. You can see the pink butterfly. So really pretty and
unique.
Yes, and if you wanted to start with our shutter cards, it's just going to be that much easier. So you can do that. You want to see another one?
Please.
This has a unique opening, and so you see the 4U right there. And I'm going to bring these together.
Like wings.
Like
lift that up.
Lift that up.
Because there's a slot there to hold that in place.
And then you see it again. It kind of folds open again. And then on the inside. So you've got this really fun card.
Right.
And Teresa has given us this one. You're going to show a little bit more?
Well, she's given us a pattern. So I want to show you that this is the pattern that you're going to get. And it has these edges on here, which actually is very easy to cut if you have the card flaps and borders cutting dies.
Yes.
So those match these perfectly. While she has the pattern to show you where to score, you can go ahead and use just a regular piece of cardstock, make it right down to the edge here, and then just place one of those card flap die cuts or cutting dies right on the bottom, and that's going to cut there. And it's going to cut at the top.
Right, and this pattern is a paper pattern.
It's a paper pattern.
So it will fit right in here. So it's just a little bit smaller
so
than
you've
that
got
edge.
all that. One other thing that you have on this pattern is you have the little cutout area, which if we look at the front of the card, we've got that. Right, but I did want to show you something about that. So let me just the card real quick. So this die cut that is basically holding this card close, it's like that, right? So it is taped. It was, it's a die cut label that is taped right in the center, so a nice strong double-sided tape right there to hold that together. But there's another option for this, and Teresa mentioned that she used this die cut rather than cutting the little flaps right into here. So what you can do is, once you have this piece folded together, before you have those little cuts, okay, now you know where this is, you're going to cut that little slot, then put that little slot over this part of the card, trace around it so you know where the slot is, and then you can just cut some little flaps to the right and left and lift this up, and you've got that. So that's one option. I love the label option
I love the
as
tag.
well.
And in the DVD, as I recall, she did a heart with 2 sides, and then also a butterfly. So just, that's what I appreciate, is it's not just a one-trick pony. You get a lot of options, and she's added the stamping and some of the thin line dazzles along with this, so just to make that beautiful. So that's just a taste of the 100 cards that are in Folded Cards Forever. Now we're going to go into the ways with ribbons, and Teresa has a floral background, and you can kind of tell that on her projects. And she has put together all the basic techniques for ribbons, including how to tie a bow, as well as some specialty things. And there are 31 projects, 2.5 hours of video. And
we get a lot of questions on how did you make that ribbon, how did you tie that. So this is for you, for everyone who's been asking how do we do this. This is going to show you simply how it's done.
Something else that she does, and these 2 projects remind me, is what to do with ribbon scraps. You know, you save those 3 inches thinking, yeah, you're going to use it, and you don't. You have wonderful bags of colorful ribbons. Well, she's got some techniques for using them, which is really fun.
Wonderful.
And some things I had never seen, and you know, I've been around a while and I've seen a lot, so it was really fun. Now, the first project that she's done for this webisode is this one, and this is kind of a looped technique, and you do use the ultra tape behind it just to hold those, and you can see it's just put down and kind of looped. You're going to do that?
I'm going to show you. So I've got the card, and I started it out. I placed the paper on there, and I've got the ribbon. I taped it. I used double-sided tape to tape underneath the paper. Okay, so it's still, you don't have to see it on the inside of your card.
That's nice.
It's underneath the paper. It's ready to go. The length of it, it tells in the gallery how long to cut it. Go ahead and cut a V cut at this end. And then I used double-sided tape. I used a My Stick or whatever double-sided tape you have, and you just put a little bit of that down.
I think the ultra tape is what we used in the DVD.
And then you've got a little tape there. Fold this over, so you want to get it started just like so, and then I'm going to put a little bit more tape right there, because I'm going to fold this back and make a quick little loop, just like
fold it right on top.
So now you've got that first little loop, more tape right here, and place that down just like so. So you're going to go back and forth. Now I've got to get another more tape right on top of that spot, go back, and you just go down the line making these little loops.
The nice thing about this technique is it gives you the texture of ribbon, but it gives you the puffiness of it, as you can see. See the puffiness?
Yeah.
And yet it's going to be great. It's going to work well in an envelope. You can just fold it. And if you want to do this on a scrapbook page, you'll get the same look, the same technique. So how pretty to do it along a border or to do it next to a photo.
I do love that down at this end, the end of the ribbon, it comes all the way out here, and then she's got this button. She just tied it on the back with a piece of that embroidery thread, and just a beautiful finish.
Now, she's not done there. On the inside, she's done something that I think is really, really fun. It's a simple technique again, but she has captured the ends of her ribbons under the paper, and then she's simply brought them over and dyed a knot in the end, and then done the ends either at an angle or in a V. And just a really nice thing. Many times when she's got button die cuts, she will thread them with the ribbon. Again, I think it just makes a nice finishing touch. In this case, she has used the little birdies. This is an Artful Card Kit, along with the ribbons that match, and you just get a beautiful assortment with this.
And she's also used one of the new embellishment bottles.
Yes.
The one on the left, the other one. There we go. So this one, it has lots of different colors of buttons in there. It has sequins, it has beads, it has these little pearl pieces, and so they're really fun to just add all of these little pieces. You've got the button there. It's a nice mix.
In fact, Teresa said that she absolutely loves these, and this is a new thing from Buttons Galore that we added last fall. And I think you said that the design team has fallen in love with them too.
And there are lots of different colors. I think there's at least 6 or 7.
6 or 8,
Okay.
Okay.
Lots of colors to choose from.
Now, another technique that Teresa did that I have never seen before is this. She has taken 1/8 inch ribbon and threaded beads onto it.
Isn't that a neat idea?
Very
and then she just
fun.
placed them at different intervals. And so I've got that. I've got the ribbon here. And I've got some beads, and so here are the, I don't know if we call them seed beads. They're larger than that.
Yeah.
A little bit larger hole, but she used a little piece of wire and she folded it in half. So the first thing you want to do is fold this wire, and so that I wouldn't lose the beads when I'm threading them on, I put a little piece of tape down at the end so they won't fall off while I'm working. And you take that wire, it's folded in half. You're just going to take the ribbon and slide it down.
And thread it through.
There we go, thread it through. So now we're holding onto the ribbon like so. And then you can take this end, put the little wires close together, and start threading your beads on. So if I keep them, there we go, keep them close together. We can get them through that. You can go ahead and thread several beads on, and you can just start pulling it. Let me see, pull it right over the ribbon like so, and then move it down to wherever you like. And I love the fact that she moved them to several different intervals, and she didn't glue those in place. Those are just kind of sitting there, but they don't really move around. They're tight enough on that ribbon.
And I won't tell you what it is, but in the DVD, she does a neat technique for holding those ribbons in place. So just to give you a little preview of that. And on the inside, doing some of the beads at the ends of the ribbons, so very pretty. Now in this case, she has used the gorgeously gilded Artful card kit, so you can see that foiling.
So easy to make a beautiful card with those big, beautiful die cuts, and then just adding a simple ribbon technique really adds that final touch.
And in this case, she used the Bohemian Dreams ribbons, and that's got some of the 1/8 inch.
Right.
And we do have a collection of 1/8 inch ribbons too, so that's another example. Wow. Look at this. Scrapbookers, again, ribbons are for you, of course. And look what's going on. We've got some unique ribbons and some very fun techniques. So just looking at this web ribbon at the top.
Right. Isn't that fun? Really quickly, the web ribbon, you cut a V on both ends. I've got it at this end, that's on the left side of the page, and then you just fold over. Here's another V. It's going to sit just like so. And then she puts a button on top of it and puts twine through the button and wraps it around there just
squinches
like
it together.
And you've got a beautiful technique with that twine, as you see on the page.
And just something to share. We say this in the DVD, but if cutting that V is tricky, here's the technique. Fold it in half and then take your scissor from the fold to the outside. That way both of your points will be identical.
Great.
So that works well. Now down here is another technique that Teresa shows in the DVD, and it's this. It is a collection of ribbons. So she's got 2 twill ribbons that she's just looped. Well, she did cut those ends in a V, and then she wrapped it with the twine.
Right.
And just wonderful textures and fun looks going on. And in this case, Teresa used the Trailblazer ribbons because it's got that great big web ribbon inside, as well as the twill and the jute.
I just love the journaling on this conversation with Annie. Mommy, how's that yogurt? Annie, tasty. Mommy, are you eating it or playing with it? Eating and playing. And she's shaving like Daddy, she says, with the yogurt. That is so cute. And that's journaled on a digital download label with this set, the Nature's Touch.
Right, so there it is. You will see some color changes as you can between these two, Teresa's computer and ours. But what a fun way to use them.
One more thing I'd love to show you. Here are the butterfly foiled fancies.
Here's how they come.
Of beautiful butterflies.
32.
And these have been stamped on, which I have seen, but what I haven't seen before is that she molded the wings a little.
Yes.
I've never tried that because they're kind of thick.
Right.
And so I thought if I bend it, it's going to kind of, I definitely have bent the wings up before, but it leaves kind of a crease. So what she did is she took the bone folder and she said she gently rolled over it just like that, just kind of sculpted
like you would with curling ribbon.
Right, and once I did that, it works just perfectly. Go ahead and stamp it first, and then do this. You can even go on the top and start from the center and sort of sculpt it out that way. And there you go.
That's the Teresa magic, just those wonderful
beautiful
things. One more thing
Another embellishment bottle with these, by the way. One of the others.
Yes,
yeah, the pretty
the
princess or something like that.
Okay.
It's got
so
purples and
pinks and
pinks
purples.
Beautiful.
Look right here. This is just a sweet technique. So she's looped the ribbon, had trimmed the ends, and again, that jute on top. Sweet, sweet, easy to do.
I love that picture.
I do too. I think that's so fun. And that's just, I know that's just such a small taste, but Teresa has worked very hard and given you some really wonderful ideas in 2 DVDs.
Right.
I can't count on this happening again, but
So what a
2
way to
for
start the year,
Yes.
and with a week of Webisodes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And please join us tomorrow. We'll bring you more things from the Teresa Treasure Chest.
See you then.